his belt color, because he been visiting us ever since he was a purple belt. Every time he come into Vegas to compete to IBJJF, he always come to visit us. And this time he just showed up with a black belt, and I was like, whoa, what the heck? So I was like, man, we gotta get you in here. You've been coming and visiting. It's only proper that we get him on the mats and show us how he's won at the highest level of competition. And in that way, you guys can take what he teach you guys, make it your own, and when you guys compete, you guys can also have success like Professor Marko did. Okay, so floor is yours, sir.
So what was I supposed to speak?
You're just gonna tell us about your jiu-jitsu lineage and
yeah. Of course, well, I've been fighting or doing martial arts over 20 years, and even before I started jiu-jitsu, I started with judo. And I started with judo when I was 8. And I did that a good 13, 14 years, all through to my adulthood. And of course the army is mandatory, like I said to a couple of you in Finland, so I did it even after the army. And yeah, I had a pretty extended career even in judo. And of course I got to the black belt even in that discipline, and I was in the national teams in juniors and even in adults for Finland, and I competed quite a lot in judo internationally. And some of those people that I trained with and competed with are now Olympic champions and world champions and represented their countries in that sport. And yeah, I got to pretty high level in that discipline. And after the army, I hurt my knee. I hurt my knee pretty bad. It was the ACL, and I had to do the surgery on my knee. And of course, it was 6 months of doing about nothing, and it was right after the army year. And of course, the army year even, it wasn't necessarily the best training year for some reason. And yeah, then I had the one army year which was pretty bad training wise, and then I got 6 months of no training, so 18 months of total nonsense. And after that 18 months, when I started to come back and I started training, my technique was off and I was out of shape. And I got really upset and even a little bit of out of my head, and then I broke down mentally. It really broke me down that I couldn't do the things that I used to do in the level that I used to do, and I threw my kimono on the closet and started drinking beer and eating chips. And I did that for a couple of years, even close to 3 years. And then I had a girlfriend at the time, and she said to me that you're not the man that I used to know. We met on the tatami. And I said to her that yeah, you're right. And then the next thing that she said to me, that you need to have a hobby, athletic hobby, of course not knitting or something like that, for example. And I said yes. So the whole conversation was 2 sentences within 5 seconds. That's the Finnish way of talking, by the way. And then I started thinking that what the hell I'm gonna do, and then I saw this Ultimate Fighter on TV, and then I thought myself that yeah, I'm interested about fighting. I wanna start MMA, but I wanna start proud first. Well, I already knew what jiu-jitsu was. I was exposed to jiu-jitsu in the army time. There was this one guy who did it, and yeah, it was pretty interesting, but I was more interested about judo in that sense. So then I started training jiu-jitsu, and yeah, I got to blue belt in 5 months because of course my extended judo background, and I only competed once when I was a white belt, and then I started competing as a blue belt, and I won a couple of competitions, and then I lost one. I got 2nd place. And then I started thinking, okay, I have to train a little bit more, get better, and I started training a little bit more and won a couple of tournaments again, and then I lost again. Right, I have to train more. And when I lost, I started to train more, and when I trained more, I did a little bit better, and yeah, I got to the blue belt, and then I got to the purple belt, and then I go to the European side. I got really my ass kicked, straight up ass kicked, and then alright, I have to train more and more and more. So first, when I started thinking about jiu-jitsu, I thought myself I'm gonna train maybe 2-3 times a week, maybe compete once in a while, and that's gonna be it. It was supposed to be a hobby. Like that 5-second conversation with my girlfriend. I need a hobby, not professional thing or something like that. But yeah, it got a little bit escalated.
just a little bit.
And yeah, the same thing happened to me again when I was a purple belt. I competed, won a couple of tournaments, and then I lost again. And then I have to do a little bit more, and yeah, it escalated, and now I've been doing this full time about good 3-4 years, and I travel over 100 days out of the year, and I compete professionally, and I even have seminars. I've been doing seminars now for about 3 years, I guess. And luckily for me, I speak 5 languages, so I get more of these opportunities when I even speak the native language. So I've been teaching in Norway because I've been living in Norway for 1 year also, and stuff like that. I got my blue and purple belt from this guy called Lucio Linhares, and he had a pretty extensive career both in jiu-jitsu and MMA, and he even fought in UFC. So if you wanna check out a couple of his fights, yeah, you can maybe see them in Fight Pass, I guess. And then I got this brown belt from Rafael Domingos. He's actually staying here in Las Vegas at the moment. And black belt from Pedro Duarte. And he's working at the moment in Abu Dhabi. So that's my lineage and my short story about fighting and my background.
Thank you very much for sharing. Alright guys, so we're gonna get a warm up in, and then we're gonna break it down to see what Professor wanna get into, okay? Small in.
Let's say out of the box stuff. I want you to do these things that you put your forehead to your opponent's forehead, and we're gonna be touching each other like this. Of course, then when you're touching your forehead to the forehead, would be very good that if you go a little bit down with your knees and have a little bit of wrestling stancing in that sense. And just as a warm up, let's say that I'm in the command and you're gonna be following me. So even if I'm moving, we have to keep our forehead to the forehead. I'm leading, you're following. So even when we're moving, I'm gonna go down. And sideways. And I can even do a little bit of a double leg. I'm gonna come up and start moving. Just the warm.
Sure. So dancing.
Yeah, a little bit like dancing. So take a partner, one is leading, one is following. And change of course after a while. Please.
Yes sir.
I'm doing the step down, and I'm trying to go, let's say, on my left side, and I feel that the hand is coming here. I cannot go anymore. That's a good opportunity for me anyway. I want to get the overhook, and then I'm gonna put my one arm or hand as a cup on my opponent's chin. Exactly. And then I'm gonna sprawl on him. And at the same time I try to put my shoulder right behind the head. So I'm having the head and the arm anyway. And I'm still in a very good control. And it even doesn't matter if my opponent even gets the single on me. I'm gonna still do the same thing. I'm gonna get the overhook, I'm gonna put this as a cup. And then I'm gonna sprawl on him. I'm gonna put as much weight on my opponent's upper body as I possibly can. And I'm going to sprawl. And even if he keeps the single, doesn't really matter. as much as I can put my weight on my opponent, that's gonna be beneficial for me. If I can drop as low as my shoulder would be touching here on the behind the head, that would be ideal. So if you are here chest to the spine, that's a little bit too high, but if you can hold your position, that's enough. So even if you have to single on me and I'm holding the position here and nothing happens, don't move any and don't do anything. As long as the single is connected, connect the hands. If you can keep yourself here, don't do anything. You are doing much less than your opponent is, and you're putting the weight and the pressure on him. If I can go down here and put my shoulder here, it would be even better. Now I have multiple options here. If I can go low here, and my opponent doesn't have the single, so I don't have to defend anything actually, and the bottom guy is defending. And the cup is that when your opponent is having the head here, I'm gonna put it right here. The more I can have the control of my opponent's head, the better. If it's uncomfortable, then it's the best. And in that sense, the most of the thing is that you most likely you're gonna forget the shoulder. So usually when you scroll on the other guy or you have to snap down here, you're too high. This is usually always the case. If I can be down here, pushing the head down, that's the best case scenario. It's about the same thing when I'm having the close guard, and of course when I'm on the bottom person, I want to have my opponent as close to me as possible. This is usually the posture that everybody teaches. One hand on the one hand, and then the one hand is behind the neck. And then it's actually pretty hard to keep my opponent here if it's really strong, or maybe I'm out of breath or anything. But try to get up. Alright? Try to get up. So I'm controlling exactly on the bottom of the head, even with the one arm. If I can keep my partner here with the one arm, go up. I can get both as a type blow. So I'm using this leverage on my benefit, that if I can get my shoulder exactly behind the head, it's gonna be really hard for my opponent to get the posture up there. If I don't have anything here and my opponent has the single and he's really strong, he's gonna get up and maybe he's gonna flip me. But anyway, get the snap down from the standing position, do the same thing. When you feel snap, and then you start to rotate one way or the other person has the single. Try to scroll as much as you possibly can, get the overhook. Try to lower yourself while scrolling. Maybe get the leg free, go down to here. Get the arm and the cup and the shoulder behind the head. And stop here. Western. Alright. For example, if I'm trying to snap my opponent down and I feel that he's coming to me, I want to snap down, and for some reason I might be too much away from my opponent. Maybe he's fast, he doesn't stay there. He wants to get up as fast as he came down. So we are both on our knees, and I see that my opponent is not going to be there and he's going back up again. I can try to take my opponent down at the same time he's coming up. So in that sense, I'm relying on my opponent that he's not gonna fall for the snap down, maybe he's too strong, I'm too weak, but I know he's gonna come up there. So as I'm stopping down and then he's pushing me and he comes up, I try to get the double or the single. So it doesn't really matter which one. If I see that my opponent's getting up, I want to go and catch my opponent. So nice and easy, if you do it like that I'm going to snap down, you can push me, alright, fair enough. You're going to come up, yeah. If I can get legs, that's fine. And you can take the easy 2 points in that sense. You can do the double leg, you can do the double leg. If you're not very comfortable with the double leg, you can do the single. Single with the high single or low one. Question. Alright. Technical low single. I wanna have the cup, I wanna have the connection, and then I wanna have my corner of my eye touching there. And the thing is that if I'm able to open the knee outside, I can use the leg of my opponent as a leverage. So if I can do all of these things, I want to open my opponent's knee outside. He's gonna fall. And you see when your opponent falls that if you have the knee going sideways and the leg is this way, so the toes are going also sideways, so I'm usually doing the right knee. So if you end up on this kind of position, then you feel that you are using about zero of your power and all of your technique in that sense. So if you can have the connection here, and you can open a little bit sideways there, your opponent is gonna fall really easy. Instead of many of you do the low single like this. And the good thing is that when you are opening the knee, even if your opponent is not falling down, if you do it properly, usually the back leg is trying to get the balance back. So if you see that he's gonna fall, usually that's gonna happen. There's a reaction if he's gonna come up. I can change even here. So even if your opponent doesn't necessarily fall, if you are able to use the momentum and the leverage, you still have very good chance here of finishing something else. It has to react if you can open the knee. The same principle can be happening from the single leg guard. So there is the sweep that if I'm able to open the knee that way, the opponent is gonna fall. So the sweep is like this. Exactly the same thing. Like the same thing with the close guard and the pressure on the behind the head. Questions? Yeah, please. Yeah. So here, cup or your wrist behind here, and then you wanna have the corner of your eye here on the side of the knee, and then you're gonna go on the 45-degree angle. Release. Go. Hands, and I see that that leg is forward. So I wanna wait that opportunity that when that leg is coming forward. That's the keynote to me that then I'm gonna go head first. I wanna get into that leg if it's gonna be the single leg. If it's gonna be double leg, then I'm aiming for the knees. So it doesn't really matter which technique again that is, but the key is that when we're fighting here and I'm watching here that if it comes and even if it doesn't come that leg forward, something is coming forward. So it doesn't matter if that leg is coming or that leg is coming. Whenever he's gonna take a step, I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna want you to pump the hands as start of the fight. And of course one is doing the takedown, one is coming forward. On the first step, not two, not three, on the first step, you're gonna get to the leg. Double leg or the single. And of course you have to be so close that you can pretty much touch your opponent. So you are close enough to get the single and double. So when you are pumping the hands, then you go. Instant. You don't have to be fast. You just have to react on that one step. So even if you do it slow, that you pump hands and then alright. The key thing is that you have a reaction And when you have a reaction, it means that your reaction time in the long run it's gonna be faster and faster and faster, and then you're gonna be explosive in the long run. So if you're slow on the start, that's fine, but the reaction has to come. So always when the one foot is coming up, I'm gonna go. Question? Alright, please. Just running away or maybe going sideways like Leandro Rowe is always going. If you know who is Leandro Rowe and you see, it's not gonna be that easy anymore. But anyway, again, single leg is the most simple takedown if you ask me. So even if you pump your hands together and you see that your opponent is going backwards, yeah, so it's gonna be a little bit harder for me to get the takedown, but the thing is that there's gonna be boundaries. So if your opponent is going to the boundaries, you just cannot simply go out of the bounds. You're gonna get penalized because you are passive, and yeah, that's not gonna work. So then you have to a little bit trick your opponent to get into the takedown. So if you see that your opponent is going backwards again and then going again and going again and going again, then you have to do something to get some kind of reaction. But you have to be pretty fast, but even especially with the kimono, with the guard pullers, if you take something, it means that they are able to see. So let's do like that when you're gonna pump the hands and your opponent is going downwards or sideways. I want you to get the head exactly behind there. So as you're pumping there, and not necessarily slap, but have some kind of connection, and if your opponent is going a little bit sideways, it's a keynote for you that then you're gonna go. So as you're going and your opponent is going with your head up, that's the key timing. So when the head goes down, it goes up, then it's your proof time. So pumping your hands, alright. And it doesn't really matter if the head doesn't go anywhere, you go anyway, because there is some kind of reaction anyway, even if the head doesn't go down and down. But of course it would be better that if you can put it like that, it's more of a reaction, maybe the eyes go of your opponent even better. So I should go in and go. Same thing. So, single leg, and we have the connection here. We go 90 degrees here. I'm having the leg between my legs. I'm hugging the leg, and I'm having maybe my ear here on the inside of the thigh, and I'm 90 degrees. And I went to this one freestyle wrestling camp actually a couple of years back, and I usually always when I got the single I went to this 90-degree angle and then I went for the down right. But the problem is that when I did it for the freestyle guys, they were laughing at me. That's never gonna work on the high level. So I said, yeah, but I've been doing this in jiu-jitsu for 5, 6, 7 years. I've got them many takedowns. Yeah. In lower level, can work. High level, never gonna work. Because the defense for the single leg is that you're gonna push the head. And if you can push the head, now if you wanna dump me, it's gonna be very, very hard to create anything from this position if I can just simply put one hand or two hands again behind the head. So if you have this pressure here and you want to dump your guy, yeah, might happen, but good luck. So when I get to the single and if my opponent doesn't fall instantly, I wanna have my ear to the chest, my head under the chin, and my hands as close to the crotch as possible. So when I feel that I got the single here and it doesn't fall, I wanna get high here. And if I can have my head under the chin, that would be very, very good. So now, if my opponent tries to push my head down, it's gonna be really, very hard to do that. Push me. And even if I don't have the head under the chin, if I'm having my posture up here, I have way more options here, and the defense for the other guy is gonna be way harder. So if I can keep myself here close to my opponent, pretty straight, a little bit maybe not on the straight legs, close here, I can easily manipulate my opponent. I can move here, and if I'm close here, I can even go for the kick. So if I see somebody catching the single and being here on the 90 degrees, I'm gonna scratch my head. Question? Makes sense? Yes? Yes. Please go try opponent. I'm gonna do that jump that I'm going to get my both feet outside, and as I'm going outside, I'm going for the ankle at the same time. So I'm going a little bit backwards. So I'm going outside and I'm trying to get the one hand behind the knee and one behind the ankle here. And now when I have the straight leg here, again the principle of the leverage, I can exploit that. I'm gonna get this hand over the knee line, and then I'm gonna rotate that way. I'm gonna be like a tornado, and when I have the straight leg here, most likely it's gonna be very good for me. So I'm going like this, and then I'm gonna be like tornado, and I'm gonna go a little bit down with my knees. And it's a pretty easy jump. So when you are in a good posture with the straight leg here, you want to go outside. The hand on the outside goes to the knee, hand on the inside goes to the ankle. So I'm going here and I'm lifting a little bit my opponent here. And it goes over. I'm gonna rotate outside. I'm gonna sit a little bit down. And the good thing is that if this goes accordingly, I'm not in a guard. I will get the pass at the same price. Pretty easy. Where's the yeah, sure. And if you can, as you are going down, the more closer your forehead is to the chest, it's harder for your opponent to get guard. If I'm high here, yeah, there's a guard. Try to get the guard. It's easy to pass. I get to it. Alright. Yeah, the ankle and the knee. Right. Yes. Yeah, when you're competing, this one goes to the heel. And as I'm here, I'm trying to put as much pressure on the heel as I possibly can. So if at the same time when I'm rotating, I'm gonna push the heel here, it's gonna create tremendous amount of pressure on the knee. It's a bit like a mini heel hook in a way, even though it's not a heel hook. Even white belt can do this technique in every competition. So the same thing, if I can have the torque and I can open the knee as we did on the low single, you pretty much have to go. Right? Decent back.
Yeah.
So if you have knee problems, in a very short amount of time you're gonna need a surgery.
Oh boy.
So, when you're training and sparring, please use the ankle version. When you're competing, kill your opponent. So, try nice and easy. You don't even have to rotate. Just put this hand from the ankle to the heel and open it just a little bit, nice and easy. And tell your opponent if it feels worse. If it feels worse, then it's good. Please run. So the one thing is that when you shoot for the single and your opponent doesn't fall down, you try to catch your opponent many times knee comes between. So I mean when your opponent is shooting for the leg and it's coming up here, the knee comes between. So in that sense, you can still do that same jump that I showed you, but the dynamics are a little bit different. I have a little bit better chances to escape because there is space between us. That's one of the reasons that I recommended you that when you feel that your opponent is not falling when you're shooting, you go as close as you possibly can. I'm having my stomach close to the close to my opponent's hip. If that happens that when we are fighting here at the knee cup between, he's more away from me, I have less options here and he's on his way out. But anyway, let's see that I still have the legs here but the knee is between here. I'm gonna go again on the outside, but I'm going to pull a little bit with my arm which is behind the knee, and then I'm gonna do overhand drive. This part of my hand is going to touch my opponent's head. At the same time I'm rotating outside and I'm pulling that way. So we're fighting here, for example, and he's trying to defend and get the leg away from there, try to have the balance here. I'm gonna punch a little bit and go there. So as I'm going here, as the knee comes, alright, I'm a little bit going here. Then I'm gonna have to punch. If I can keep the hand about here and when we're going down, if I can get again my hand behind here on the head, that would be beneficial for the passing. If it doesn't happen, cannot do anything, he's slippery. And yeah, anything is not 100%. So when we are fighting here, and I'm doing this jump here, this would be beneficial. I have my knee between here, I have connection here, and I'm pressing my opponent into a U letter. So the closer the forehead is to the knee, the harder is it for the bottom guy to get anything going here. It's easy for me to knee slide, for example. So if you do nice and easy, you do it exactly like I showed you. So I have here, I'm gonna go that way and try to get the head. That's the slow version. Of course, when we are doing it fast, it looks a little bit that I'm punching my opponent. But it's totally legal to have this connection, and even though it might look like a punch, it's not a punch, especially when you slip your hand here. So it's considered okay. Freestyle guys do it all the time. Question. Go! Very long stance and they think about there's nothing that can be done. So, for example, when I'm fighting somebody, especially on the national tournaments, yeah, they know I want to get to the race. And then many of them had a great idea of going really low here. So I cannot do the single and double. So, when I see that happening, then I kick the legs. Foot sweep. So, when we connect the hands, if you see that your opponent is really low, not even necessarily that low, but you feel that it's really hard to get under your opponent's kick. So even if your opponent's a little bit more downwards there, yeah, like that. If you see that he's, how do you put it, a little bit more going that way. So it doesn't necessarily have to be down there, but the weight is a bit on there, yeah, more on the back. It's a beautiful opportunity for the foot sweep. And of course,
Like he's going for the De La Riva pull?
yeah, maybe, or let's say with the kimono, for example, I wanna have the
Yeah. Like Renee's De La Riva pull?
Yeah.
Do mimic that way.
Yeah. So even you see that he's too low, or you don't necessarily even know how to shoot. Do the single, the double. If you can do that, that's enough. The funny thing is that if your opponent pulls guard after 3 seconds that you tried any kind of takedown, it's still considered 2 points. And of course 3 seconds is the 3 seconds of the referee. So it's not, yeah, that kind of 3 seconds. So I want you to try to do the foot sweep, and it doesn't really matter if it's on the inside or the outside, but you do want to kick the leg that is forward. And the lower your opponent is when we are training, the easier the foot sweep is gonna be. So when you put the hands together, the lower your opponent is, lower, the more easier it's gonna be done. So if you can at the same time try to get the wrist, try to get the head, and try to have the kick of the leg coming behind the ankle if it's possible. And you always want to have your bottom of the feet touching your opponent. So if you go exactly like that, you're gonna hurt your own foot. But if you go that way, nothing's gonna happen. So if you flow here, I'm gonna take the wrist, full sweeping, or outside, that way. And the funny thing is that even if it doesn't work, and he's only maybe doing like that, if I push him, it's still 2 points. So if you don't know foot sweeps, you can try like that, the one leg is extremely forward. And you go for the wrist, go for the head, right like that. Or on the outside. And that's it.
So same hand placement.
Yep.
Oh. Huh.
That's only one way. If somebody shows any other way, it doesn't really matter. That's the hand placement that I do.
Yeah.
And nobody asks after you succeeded how it went, how was your answer? It succeeded.
You just did it.
Yeah,
It worked.
Who cares?
Yeah.
So if you can succeed on some kind of technique, and the other can say, but yeah, but with this, and it's better that way and this way. Nah, it was good point. I'm right and you're wrong. Yeah, try. Hip, foot to the hip, and the other one behind the ass. And then I'm gonna get my leg lock position right here. If something is off, you have time to adjust. You can get the grips you want, and then you have a very good chance of at least attacking the leg, if not finishing the leg lock in that sense. So it's a really beautiful entry for the leg lock, and we're gonna first do the ankle lock version of the entry, and then we're gonna go a little bit further on the leg lock thing. Because first the ankle lock, then comes the knee bar, then comes the heel hook, and then comes the suffering.
You're not lying.
Do that jump on the single, get the ankle lock. That's it. There's a hole, and I'm gonna exploit it. This foot goes right over here, and I'm trying to flow about 45 degrees that way. And I'm of course low here, like I explained to you when I'm jumping. The lower I am here, the better. It's better for the passing, it's even better for the leg locks. And I try to have both feet. If I cannot have both feet, I want to have at least the bottom one. And then if I can have the connection here, I can put it on the triangle, or just like how do you say, in a close guard, you know what? Heel is right here. So, and then you can do the heel hook to your opponent. And you don't have any rush here. If I'm having the control of the leg, for example on the armpit, my knees are higher than my opponent's knees, and I'm having this connection here. It's very, very hard for your opponent to escape fast. Can be done, but you have golden opportunity to stop the fight with a heel hook right here. If you have control both of the legs here, that's fine. Then you have all the time in the world. Then you can tickle maybe your opponent and maybe think what kind of leg lock you wanna do, there's also an opportunity for the top leg, for the ankle lock, and even for the heel hook, but you're goddamn short, so it's harder for me. Maybe even a toe hold. Maybe even a knee bar. But anyway, the point is that I wanna get from this position to this position. Pretty easy. Right.
Yes, sir.
Questions? No. And then the golden rule about the leg locks. I tried to explain it to all of you, but the golden rule about the leg lock is that you have to have knee line and control of the hip. Then you can try. Then it's successful for you. It might be successful to you to have a leg lock. So if you can have the knee line and the hip line, the third one comes pretty easily. The third one being the ankle in a way. So even if you're doing the heel hook, I'm having a control of the ankle. If I'm doing the toe hold, I'm having a control of the ankle. If I'm doing the knee bar, I'm also having control of the ankle, knee, hip. So the control of the hip means that if your opponent is rolling and moving around and nothing happens, then your control of the hip is good enough. The knee line is obvious. If the knees are higher than your opponent, then you have the two of those. And then you can apply the third one, and when you apply the third one, you're gonna break the leg. So even if you don't understand anything, and if you understand only the control of the hip and the knee line, then you have learned something, and you can apply it to these leg lock things.
When you say the knee line, are you just talking about the height of the knee?
Yes.
So his knee needs to be higher than your knee?
Or my knees has to be higher.
Your knee.
If you're looking on this, my point of
So
view,
you want your knee to be up like near their thigh,
Yeah.
on their thigh.
which knee is higher? My knee is past my opponent's right. Yeah. And then with this connection with my legs here, I'm having the control of the hip. Yeah, I'm pinching it. So for example, if I'm doing the knee, the ankle lock, now my knees are past my opponent's knee. I have the connection of the hip, right?
Yes, sir.
Now it's possible for me to attack the ankle also, which means I'm breaking the leg. Of course I can do the heel hook even from here. So it doesn't matter to which the scenario is. I can still apply it. So for example, I can sweep maybe go from the bottom one. I'm gonna do the knee bar here. I'm having the hip here. My knees are higher than my opponent. I can do the knee bar from here. Still same thing applies.
Yes, sir.
If this knee goes past my knees, for example, now it's not anymore possible for me to do the knee bar. He has escaped. I might pick up.
I got you. So the knee line is your knee passing his knee on his leg.
So and the same thing for the ankle lock, for example. If I lose this knee here, it goes. Get it out. Get the knee out. It's not able for me. Impossible for me to anymore to break this. I can still have the connection here, but I lost the connection of the hip also. I can do this all day long and nothing happens. If somebody has normal flexibility.
You're not passing the knee, you're not going to control his hip anyway.
No. I lost. I have to do something else or try to get it back.
Yes, sir.
That's the golden rule of leg locks.
Pass the knee.
Pass the knee, get the control of the hip. Then you can try the leg lock. But anyway, the point is, I do the jump here. Anything goes. God damn easy.
Like it.
I've literally been in that so many times.
Me too. Try that entry.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it doesn't really even matter if my knee is touching the tatami, it's only partially through, or even if it's still here, doesn't matter. If I see that my opponent is trying to get up, he wants to have the underhook and do the half cut stuff, I can jump over and do the same entry to the same position. So we're fighting here, and I see that he's coming up here. Then, same thing. So, doesn't matter how your feet is, if this happens, would be beneficial if you see even that your opponent is coming up, you're rolling at the same time. If you want to pull your opponent, you open your side all the way over. Normally, of course, you're having your hands close to your body and then you're pushing your opponent and nothing happens. But when you open, okay. Then that same thing applies. Yeah. Try.
No.
Entry down from the bottom. So when this leg comes over into my opponent's leg here, and maybe I get this underhook right here, or maybe put it this way. I can go on my shoulder and I can do the same entry. Even on the bottom. It's a little bit hard to explain because when you are in the bottom here, you pretty much have the opportunity for the top guy to hug you, which is in a way it's bad. If the top guy hugs you, you're in trouble. But you're gonna risk it anyway when you are here on the bottom, and you're gonna put this leg between here. So this top leg goes on the inside, and I'm gonna rotate onto my stomach, or not maybe the stomach, but anyway inside here. And this one, which is between here, it goes on the outside. So legs are crossing. When the legs are crossing, I'm gonna go that way, and I'm gonna get the connection of the leg here. If I can have a little bit of upper body work here, I can cross my legs on the triangle, and then I'm ending on the same position. So if you wanna learn it, you can start here that your opponent is having feet here, and you cross the, so the outside leg goes first over, and the under leg goes outside here. And you go right here. Catch the leg, roll a little bit, and there you have it. And you can go back, cross it, alright? And go high here. So then you can have the movement done correctly. And it's of course a bit harder when you are fighting, and then it's resistance, but then you can get the actual rotation going on, and then you can refine it in a long period of time, like I was telling you, the 3 years of. Try that. It's gonna be the hardest one, but with that, this is really bad position for you to defend, but however, defending is totally possible. I have to get my hip going on. If I don't get my hip going on, I cannot get my knee line free here. Makes sense? Yeah. So even if my opponent, for example, has some kind of control here, you can escape even if you have any heel hook. But let's say he has the ankle also here. I have to get my hip going on. I can still move this leg here. He has the both legs. It means that I have to get one leg free here. And now he still has my hip. And still has my leg here. So I don't have too much time here. If I can get on this position, I'm pretty confident to say that the heel hook is gonna be the next one coming there. If I can get my hip going on, I can still have my defense. So I have to get these hooks that are holding my hip out here. I can move my hip. Still has the knee, right? And the heel is still coming. I wanna put my knee to the tatami. If I can put my knee to the tatami, then I can break the knee line also. The easiest way to put the knee on the tatami is going that way. Have connection. Alright, still have the knee here. I break it. Get away. So, if he has only the one foot, very good. Maybe hug the leg, sorry, the hand, so my leg is not in jeopardy. If I don't hug here and he's still going for there, even with the heel hook, I might be hand fighting here. If I can, I can use also my leg here to kick on the ass and take a sprint like within the 100 meters. So the key is, if I'm getting the hooks out, then my hip is moving, then I can put my knee to the tatami, and then I can try to clear the knee line. If I beat those things, I might get away at least from the leg lock. Of course, there's a possibility that when I'm getting out of here, I get stuck here. My opponent feels that, oh, I lost it. He might come to the hip also. You get up. No, get up here. And you get the hip. Something. That might happen, but you're escape from the leg lock. Or maybe you are battling for position and whatever, but not a leg lock anymore. Questions?
One more time.
Yeah. Always hand fight if you can. If you cannot hand fight, be goddamn fast. If you're slow, then tap. Try to break it one way or the other. Please try. The bottom one. Everybody, I bet, have seen the escape here that, yeah, you wanna put the foot on the tatami, then you go over here and then you clear it. So in a way it's the same principle. So because my opponent is attacking my ankle, he has the control of the hip and the knee line. Alright, if I can break this control, now my hip is moving. So even though he has my knee line, I'm pretty much safe. And I'm now totally out. So it's no different in that sense, even when you think about the traditional ankle lock and then maybe the first defense that somebody teaches you. So it's not, the escaping is not complicated if you think about the leg locks in that sense. You always want to have your hip moving. If your hip is moving, then you can put your knee to the tatami. So it doesn't really matter which position you are. If you are bot or the bottom, you wanna get your hip going on, you wanna get the feet out of your hip, and then you can try to clear the knee line. So in that sense, it makes the process pretty goddamn easy, both ways. If I'm attacking, I wanna have the hip and the knee, and vice versa. So then it's simplified. So then the complicated thing becomes pretty simple, at least on the theory. And of course, when you are fighting somebody, not that easy, but that's it. And like we talk here, that if you see the fight between BJ Penn and Ryan Hall in UFC, BJ Penn was caught in the heel hook and he heel hooked himself because he rolled it on the wrong way. And yeah, BJ Penn is pretty goddamn experienced, but he still rolled it on the wrong way and he heel hooked himself in that fight. Then it would be a little bit more of a ask a question and then I'm going to answer type of thing. If you have any problems, if you have some techniques you wanna learn, now it's time to open your mouth. No connection.
Okay.
I didn't even clear it properly. This would be proper. But there is no connection, and when there is no connection. So, if you know that your opponent is going to put the hip on the foot on the hip and sit on the ass, the only thing that you have to do is when you get the connection here and get it off. By getting off, you can always pull, push, hip bump, leg track. So it's up to you what you wanna do. And then you can try to have some kind of pass. What kind of pass do you prefer? What's your favorite pass?
I like the knee cut, but
Alright, you like the knee cut? Then it's pretty easy. Get the ankle, get it off from your hip, put it exactly downwards. Ta-da. Might necessarily come as a pass, but you're not in a guard. Not in a very good guard, actually, at least. When it comes to me, underhook.
I like it.
For example. Of course, if you're really, really fast, and you know that even before it comes to you, but when it comes to you, you wanna have it off yourself. In a way, even when we are fighting here, and if your opponent has feet on you, it doesn't matter which guard it is, of course you wanna break them. If there is no connection, nothing happens to you. So for example, if a guy has Hiva, no connection, nothing happens. And it doesn't matter even if he has the upper body here, it's not gonna sweep me when there is no connection. And when there is no connection, I can move. I'm trying to do something. That's a butterfly hook. This is a butterfly hook. Your knee has to be on the outside. So when I'm moving this and this one goes on the inside, it has to be here. If it goes here, yeah, you're gonna smash me. Nothing happens. At least for me. Everything happens to you. So in that sense, when we're going here, if I'm really good here and I have the underhook, I don't have to go. I have to lift. Alright.
Bring
So,
the outside one and
yeah.
just keep the knee on the outside.
So if you are fighting half guard, for example, and I have the underhook here. If I can dive under it, that's enough.
That was amazing.
Yeah, now it's very
That
simple.
was amazing.
It's simple. It's so simple that it makes me wonder how somebody hasn't created this like the Danaher guys have. It's stupid. It's really stupid and really simple.
I love it.
And it doesn't really matter even if you want to do leg locks, you want to have the lift. So traditionally, before the Danaher guys, the butterfly guard was the guard to do. Because from the butterfly guard you will get the lift. And if I can get the lift here, I can attack the foot. That's how it was done mostly before the Danaher guys. So if you wanna see. So we are fighting here, I have the underhook, or maybe even here, doesn't really even matter. If I can get here and then get the underhook, that's fine too. If I can get lift here, then I can dive. Then I ticket. The options actually. Because with the kimono you have also a lot of stuff. But easiest thing for me to do is if I get the mount first, and even if the guy has some kind of defense in here, if I can pin my opponent's arms this way, then it's my time. I can have, for example, the hug here, and I can put one hand under the one arm. I can pin one arm, I can go a little bit further, then I can pin the other one, and then I can block this. Then it's usually the arm bar. But there are many cases if I can pin to one arm, I can go also from the arm triangle.